Hey guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I thought it would be kind of fun to go through my newest pedal board build and kind of go through each pedal, talk about why I chose the pedals that I chose, kind of some of the tones that I'm getting, and hopefully give you guys some inspiration on building a cool little pedal board. I am kind of sick. I think I got sick at NAMM, so I got my tea next to me. It's been kind of a rough week, a lot of coughing, but I don't know. I wanted to start making some more YouTube videos, and this I thought would be a cool place to start because I don't know that I've shown my full pedal board yet and kind of how I've organized it and like the power supply I'm using and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's talk some tones. So this is the pedal board. I'll kind of walk you through the routing and then talk about the different choices that I made. First of all, the board itself is made by Mono. This is the small size, I think. It's the smallest one of like the multiple row pedal boards. And for me, it's kind of the perfect size. I used to have a really big pedal board and I just got tired of bringing it everywhere and it was very heavy, and it was just like, I wanted something kind of small, but I could still fit some of my bigger pedals on it. And then I've been using the Mono cases for a long time. I've completely loved them. They're amazing. And so I was like, I might as well go with the Mono board and a Mono pedal board case. And I am extremely happy I made that decision. These pedal boards are awesome. They're nice and they're heavy duty, but still lightweight. And then the case that they come with is, of course, amazing, like everything Mono makes. So to power my whole board, this was like a major upgrade for me. I have the, this guy, the Seox, I think is how you say the name. I'm not quite sure, but the DC7, which is way quieter than the previous power supply that I had. I had the Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2 or something. I don't know, it's the one that was very, very popular. I know Voodoo Labs also has some great, really quiet stuff now, but this one just kind of piqued my interest. And then they also do the thing where they have the extension to connect a quad cortex to it. So that was another reason I got this, was if I wanted to eventually build a board with a quad cortex on it, I could get the adapter and connect my quad cortex to that. So what's kind of interesting is that the DC7 only has 7 outputs. And as you can see, I have more than 7 pedals. I have 8 pedals. When you buy the DC7, it comes with some cables that split in 2. I just made sure that I used that cable on the analog pedals. So I didn't want to put them on digital pedals and risk it adding more noise. So I put it, I think, on my tuner and the compressor. And it's extremely quiet. I've had no issues with it at all. So another thing, the cables that I'm using are lava cables that I built years ago. I say that's probably the weakest point of my board right now, is just because they're solderless cables. I've never had an issue with them. I've used them for years and I've never had an issue. I know some people sometimes have issues with solderless cables. At some point, if I start playing way more gigs and like maybe start traveling a bit more, I will switch to soldered cables. But for now, the solderless cables are great, and they let me set up my board in a very like aesthetic, clean way. So kind of signal flow wise, pretty simple. I'm going into this tuner, which is the Boss TU2. I've had this for probably over 10 years, still works great. I've been kind of eyeing the Diodario one just because it looks really cool, but I've never had an issue with this guy. This has kind of been a staple on every single board that I've had. And then next up in the chain is my compressor, which is the Kali 76. This is by far my favorite compressor that I've ever used. And I leave it always on. Throughout this video, I'll show some tone examples and some playing examples of each of these pedals, so keep watching if you want to hear some examples. but it gives me the thing where it just sounds like my guitar tone in a studio. It gives it like that polish, which I very much love. Next in the chain, I'm going to this pedal down here, which is the Believe by Love pedal. These are really cool. I found out about it from watching a Josh Smith YouTube video. I'm a huge Josh Smith fan and his playing is incredible. And so I was like, I want to sound like Josh Smith, so I'm gonna get this pedal. And I love this pedal. It's very cool. And I don't see too many people with it, so it's fun to kind of throw on during a gig and people be like, what the hell is that? It's like an octave up. It's like an octave fuzz, but it's not very fuzzy. It's kind of just the octave part. So what's cool to do is to layer the octave with like an overdrive. Next up, I have the OC3, which I have used a ton in recording and in live situations and in like jamming. When I'm jamming with just the drummer, I'll sometimes put this on like a loop and then loop a bass part and then play guitar on top of it with a drummer, which is really fun. I use this a lot on the Modern Value EP, and I'm kind of trying to bring it back again. It's a really cool pedal. It has this drive setting, which apparently a lot of people hate, but I kind of like it. I think it sounds kind of cool. I'll show some examples of that a little bit later. And then after the OC3, I'm going into this guy, which is also an awesome pedal. This is the Rev Amps Tilt Overdrive. So this is an overdrive and a boost. I don't use the boost side too often. I kind of use the drive side as also my boost. Like I don't leave the drive on. I kind of get some overdrive from my amp, and then I turn this on for like leads, and I set the volume to where when I turn it on, it gives me a little bit of a boost. But the boost side is cool. I'd use it sometimes. It's great for like tone shaping because of like the tilt functionality. If you guys are interested in that, there's a bunch of YouTube videos about it, which is very cool. So after the tilt overdrive, I'm going into my Flashback X4. This is a very old pedal, and I don't see a lot of people with them on their boards anymore, but this has never left my board. It's a very simple pedal. It's easy to use. There's no menus. It's just like, I like the things that I use all the time to be as simple as possible. And this pedal kind of does that for me. It gives me great delay tones, and I don't really have to think about it too much. I can just pick the one that I want here, and then you can like save them to the presets, tap tempo. It's great. It's also like, it's never broken on me, and I've had it for probably like also a decade. After this, I'm going into this pedal, the Walrus Audio, which this pedal's these two right here are kind of new to me, the Walrus Audio pedals. This is the D1, which is like a bunch of different delays all in one pedal, and there's like presets and stuff. It can get pretty intense. I kind of just keep it on one sound, like a really ambient thing, and just turn it on when I want the really ambient thing. And then this reverb is the same, where it has a bunch of different reverbs inside, and you can kind of create presets and control it with MIDI and all that kind of stuff, which I haven't gone too deep into yet, but I do the same thing with this one, where I kind of leave it on a really ambient setting and only turn it on when I want a super ambient thing. But yeah, so that's kind of my whole board. It's very simple. Like I was saying before, I kind of like to keep everything as absolutely simple as possible, because when I'm playing at a gig, I don't want to have to think about my pedal board. You know, I just want to use my pedal board to like get specific sounds, not have to mess with it, and my focus is in what I'm playing. I think at this point, I'll kind of go through some tone examples of each pedal, show some different sounds, show some playing examples, get some cool tones going, maybe a different combination of pedals and stuff like that. But yeah, stay tuned. Cool, so first, I guess I'll kind of show you what the amp sounds like by itself. I'm miking it up with a Sennheiser E906, and that's just going straight into Logic. The interface I'm using is just the Focusrite 18i8, so very, very simple. So there's a little bit of spring reverb in the amp. Which I kind of leave on unless I'm like gonna record a rhythm part. So that's with no pedals on. Now I'm gonna show you what the compressor sounds like. Here, I'll go back and forth between on and off. So it's definitely adding a lot. There's also a bit of a volume boost that I'm getting with it. And I kind of just leave this pedal on. So for the rest of the video, I will be leaving the Cali 76 on because that's how all my tones sound. So the next pedal in the chain is the Believe. So it's very interesting sounding. It's kind of like, it kind of just like fucks up your guitar sound in like a cool way. Yeah, so sometimes what I'll do is I'll stack that with an overdrive. So that this is by itself. And then with the overdrive. Which is, I think, a pretty cool sound that's very fun to use, like for a lead or something like that. So next I have the OC3, which is an octave down, and this is how I normally have it set. Now if I kind of make it a bit more extreme. So it kind of lets you get like an octave down, but it's in a different way than like a digital Pog style octave down. So if I completely take out the dry signal and I just have the octave down, it will sound like this. which is kind of cool, and it's fun to kind of do that with maybe a drummer friend and put it on a loop, play some fun, weird leads on top. Another thing I do with this pedal is I stack it with an overdrive. So here's by itself. And if I put the overdrive, I just think it sounds cool. The other setting on this octave pedal that I was talking about before is the drive that's built in. It's a very aggressive sounding drive, so this is kind of what it sounds like. Then if I stack the drive setting in the super octave with another overdrive, you can get this super dark, almost like synthy sounding thing. Very weird. So the next pedal I'll talk about is the tilt overdrive that I have going on here. So here's my guitar just by itself. And then with the overdrive. I really like this pedal. It's kind of the only overdrive that's on my board. I don't know, good job, Rev. You guys did a great job with this pedal. And Sean Tubbs, of course, who this pedal is like a Sean Tubbs signature pedal. He has amazing ears, also an amazing player, of course. Very cool. I'm very into it. So the next pedal on my board is the flashback. So my A setting, because there's A, B, and C. A is like a slapback. I love slapback. I tend to overuse it sometimes. Especially love it with like leads. Like with some overdrive. I just think it's a very cool sound. And then on my B setting, there's a bit of a longer delay. I have a set kind of subtle, so that I'll kind of use sometimes for chords or for leads and that kind of thing. And then C, I have set for a reverse delay for if I want to get kind of weird and ambient. Pretty cool. I'm really into that kind of thing. So that's just like some of the settings that I have on the flashback. You can do a million things with this pedal, which is awesome, and it's so simple, and it's like not an expensive pedal. It's great. The next pedal I have is the Walrus Audio delay, the D1. Really awesome for like soundscape stuff, and if I'm trying to kind of explore new tones. There are a bunch of different sounds that you can get out of this pedal, and then it has like banks and presets and all that kind of stuff. I haven't gone too deep into it quite yet, but every sound that I've gotten out of this pedal sounds amazing. And then lastly is the R1 from Walrus Audio, which I have set to a very long delay. There's also like a swell setting, which is very cool. And then if I combine my wet effects all together, you can get some kind of crazy. Cool. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you heard some interesting things, maybe got some inspiration for your own pedal board, what you want to do, what you don't want to do. My name is Joshua De La Victoria. I am a musician in Southern California. You can check out my music. I have a band called Portraits. I have a band called Victoria. Links to everything's in the description. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, of course, because all that stuff really helps with YouTube and with kind of knowing where to move, what to do with this channel. I just hit 10,000 subscribers, so thank you a bunch for that. And I would really like to start posting regularly. Kind of just trying to figure out what exactly to post. So this is hopefully the start of many things to come. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. Cool. All right, see you guys.